Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today's dinners I have for you, one's going to be a soup, a dessert, and a Greek lemon chicken. There. So we've got the butter in there. I'm gonna dump the onions. I'm gonna saute the onions until they are nice and soft. So we're gonna let that saute for maybe about probably like 5-6 minutes. I like them pretty soft and kind of brown. Now I'm going to put in about a 1/4 cup of butter with 1/4 cup of flour, and I'm going to whisk it for 3 to 4 minutes, adding a little bit of milk if it starts to burn. Now I'm going to add the milk slowly in and whisk it as I'm doing this. So you add the full 2 cups of milk, and you're going to whisk together. Break up that flour. I'm breaking up the flour. Then I'm going to pour in all of the chicken stock here. I'm going to pour in all the chicken stock here because that's about, I'm pretty sure it's about 2 cups, but I'm going to measure it really quickly because it said about 2 cups. Oh, well, nope. A little more than 2 cups. Luckily, I measured it. So I just poured in my chicken stock, and you're going to let this simmer for about 20 minutes. Okay, now it is almost thickened. I have it simmering, not all the way on low, but low enough. So now I'm going to add in the celery. It just said 1 little stick of celery. I'm not a fan of celery, so that's fine with me. Then I'm going to add in about half a bag of broccoli. And I should have cut these up, but you know what? That's okay. And then I'm going to stir this, and then this is going to simmer for about another 20 minutes, just until the veggies are soft. Oh, and I forgot the carrots, guys. Right here, I forgot the carrots. This is about a half a cup, so we're going to eyeball this and do a little more, and that's it. If you watch my last What's for Dinner, you know I don't be measuring stuff. I mean, this is the first time I've ever made broccoli cheddar soup, so of course I'm going to measure a little bit, but yeah. So we're going to let this simmer for about another 20 minutes or so. Season it with a little bit of nutmeg and salt and pepper and a little bit of garlic. That's it. I think I put a little too much, but that's okay. And then we're going to put some garlic. Things come out so fast. And then a little bit of salt, pepper, then I'm going to stir this up. Now once the veggies cook through. So the vegetables are tender. I just checked them. So here's 1 cup. It says to add 2.5 cups, but I'm going to add a cup of that, and I'm going to add a cup of the sharp cheddar. Actually, I'm going to add a cup and a half of the sharp cheddar. I wish I did have some Velveeta, because the Velveeta would really bring it out, but that's okay. That's what I'm going to add. Yeah, that's about a half a cup. Then I'm going to add some Parmesan, just a little. That's it. Okay, I'm going to be making this, yes, out of the box. I've made it before and it came out really good. So this time around, instead of making the pumpkin bread, I am actually going to be making
the muffins. I have a little miniature one here, so I'm going to do a couple of those, and then I have these right here. And so it calls for a half a cup of vegetable oil. It comes with the can of pumpkin. Look, this is a hot mess, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Crazy. And then a cup of water. And I think I said it calls for 4 eggs. And then here is the mixture. So I'm going to get mixing, and then I will come back and show you. We're also going to preheat the oven 350. So let's go over here and preheat the oven. It's already there. Hit start, and it's going to start preheating. I always forget to do this, and it takes forever. Okay, now I'm putting in the cup of water. I'm going to add in the half a cup of vegetable oil. And then I'm going to add in this booty can of pumpkin that looks all crazy. Trying to make sure I get all of it out without cutting myself, because this is a very sharp pan. Okay. Then I'm going to mix it, and I will be right back. Okay, so everything is mixed. Now we're going to try to use this to put in there, but I'm not good at making muffins or cupcakes, because I either overflow it or I don't put enough in. So we shall see. We're going to see how this is going to look like a hot mess. We're going to see how it turns out. Okay, I will come back and let you see it before I put it in the oven. Okay, got the pan, this one, I cleaned it up. Then I got a little one and a full one. So we're going to put these in the oven. Let's see if I can do 2 on chicken and potatoes. And I will leave a link here where to get the recipe from, or if I don't type it out, but this is a lot to type out, so I'll probably just be leaving the website for it. Okay, you're going to need, well, it doesn't cost for parsley, but I love to use parsley on potatoes. It does call for oregano, rosemary, kosher salt, black pepper, minced garlic, but I buy it like this, half a cup of lemon juice. It says fresh. I have this in the fridge. A half a cup of olive oil and some chicken broth, but I have better than bouillon, so I'm going to be using that. And what else? Oh, it does cost for cayenne pepper. I do not have any of that, so we're just going to not use that. So I'm going to add a half a cup of olive oil, and then I'm going to do a half a cup of, let me turn the camera around, guys. Sorry about that. So you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to add a half a cup of lemon juice, because that's what it says. Okay. And then it says 4 minced garlic, or 6. It actually says 6. So I'll do probably 2. I don't want that much garlic. So I'll do about that. And right there. And that. Put this away. Then also, it says 1 teaspoon of rosemary and 1 tablespoon of oregano. You guys know I do not measure. So I'm going to do that, because I'm going to end up adding the chicken in here as well. Just a little bit of rosemary. Not too much of that. It's pretty strong. I love parsley. I'm adding a lot of parsley. I don't know what it is with parsley. And it does calls for 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. And we're just going to lightly with this. Okay. If I need to add more, I will. And then it says a pinch of, wait, I'm going off the directions because I've never cooked this before. It says 1 teaspoon of black pepper. So we're just going to sprinkle it around like so. And then it says it calls for chicken thighs, but I'm just using chicken drumsticks, what I have on hand. And my fish, oh my gosh, you guys. My chicken and everything is already washed. I already pre-washed that before I put it in my freezer bags. And I should have got a bigger mixing bowl, but we're going to work with what we got here because I don't feel like getting another bowl. So
just gotta get in there with the hands and toss it. And then I will add in the chicken broth once I lay everything down on the pan. So make sure everything is evenly. I think I want to add some more seasoning. And I think I'm going to add some onion powder to this as well. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go get the onion powder. Okay, I grabbed the onion powder. So I'm going to sprinkle some onion powder. And then I have a 9.
I believe this is a 9 by 13 pan. Sorry, let me turn the camera around so you guys can see better. Hopefully this all fits. We'll make it fit. Put it in between the potatoes, like it says. It's a lot of potatoes. And wash my hands. And then we pour this over in between the potatoes. Like so. Then I'm going to get some foil. And we're going to put this in the oven for about 20 minutes. And then it tells me to take it out, toss the potatoes around, and put it in for an additional 20 minutes. I will let you guys know what it looks like once it's done. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today's dinner I have for you, you're going to be making easy instant pot stroganoff. I've made this before. This is my 3rd time making it. So I already have the ground beef prepped in the Instant Pot. I am going to turn on the saute button so we can get this going and getting it ready. So I'm going to cook this up. This ground beef I do have to drain. So I'll drain that. And once it's done, I will come back and show you what else we're doing with it. I drained the grease out. So now we're going to add in the onion, and it calls for 1 small onion. But see, when I get my onions, I chop them all up and have them in a freezer bag. So whatever I need, I just grab it. So we like a lot of onion in here, so that's about enough. A little more. Okay, about that much. And then I just put back what I'm not using back into the freezer. Because then I don't waste onions. I use it as I go. So now we're just going to, it also calls for mushrooms, but I do not have any mushrooms. So that's fine. The cream of mushroom soup is just fine. The last couple times I've cooked this, I did not have mushrooms. So we're good to go. And then we're supposed to saute this for about a minute or so. And then I'm going to add the garlic as well. But it's going to have to go a little longer than that because these were in the freezer. So I'm just trying to chop them up to get them unfrozen, you should say. So yeah. And then I'm going to add some garlic. I just have the squeezed garlic here. So, and it calls for 1 clove. So I'll just do like a teaspoon. Not that much, about that much. And let me show you what's in the pot right now. So I had to hold the phone because I film. And so now I'm just going to stir up the garlic, get it infused with all the flavors. This is very hard doing this and holding the camera and trying to watch what you're doing. So I'm going to let this saute for a few more minutes because, I want the onions kind of cooked. And then we will go from there. Okay, so now I am going to add the flour, and I have 1 tablespoon of flour. I'm going to add that in. We're going to stir this up. I'm going to stir this up. We're going to get that floury taste out of there. We don't want that floury taste in there, right? So make sure it's stirred up. You guys, this is sad that I gotta get on my tippy toes to look up in here. I am not this tall, man. So, okay, that's stirred in there. Now I'm going to add in the cream of mushroom, just 1 can. So add that in. Sorry if my hand is in the way. I got everything out of there. I did. And then stir this up. And then I'm going to hit the cancel button on the Instant Pot. And then I'm going to add in the beef broth. It calls for 2 1/4 cups, so this is 2 cups. I'm going to add that in. Then I'm going to add in another 1/4 cup. Just gonna eyeball it. You know what? There's only like a little bit in here. So you know what? I'm just gonna use all of it because there's not a lot, and the noodles is going to take it all anyway, so it's not really a big deal. So I'm going to add the rest of this. There's no point in me keeping a little bit. I'm going to stir this up, and then I'm going to add my noodles. I'm going to add the noodles. I do not have egg noodles. I have the bow ties, but that's okay. They're still noodles. They're still going to work. So when you add in your noodles, you want to make sure that the liquid covers your noodles. I'm not going to add all this because you don't need all that. So you just pat it down and make sure that the broth or whatever liquid that you have is covering your noodles. And let's see what else. And that is it. Combine and stir. And now I'm going to put the top on. If you have the Instant Pot, make sure you take it from venting to sealing. Do not have it on venting because then it will not pressurize. So this is venting. You need to go over to sealing. Then I'm going to go over here and hit pressure cook. And I'm going to set it for 2 minutes. And I will come back once it's done. So it is done cooking. I did not show you the part of me freaking out every time I quick release it, I freak out every time. So we're supposed to stir it. And then I'm going to add the sour cream and then stir it up. There's only like a little bit of sour cream in here, so I'm going to go ahead and use the rest of this because I don't have a lot. It calls for 1/3 of a cup of sour cream, but who doesn't like sour cream, right? So we're just going to stir this up. I have some ricotta cheese I've had in the refrigerator for about a week or two, maybe a little longer than that, and I don't want it to go bad. So I'm going to make up the lasagna, and then I'm actually going to put it in the freezer because I'm going to cook it, and then I'll let it, obviously cool down, and then I'm going to put it in the freezer. It can last you about a month, maybe a little longer, just depends on how good you wrap it up. But I'm going to take you along and show you the process. So I decided to do a voiceover for you because the audio was pretty bad. Right here, I'm just grounding up the ground beef. And then I'm also talking about in this clip, I do use the ready noodles, the oven ready noodles, but last time I used them, they didn't get done right. So I actually boiled them for 7 minutes and it helped it out a lot. Here I'm just using the same seasonings that you've seen me use in the previous clip. And I'm just cooking up the ground beef. And then I'm going to add in the Prego spaghetti sauce. It's the only sauce that I had on hand, and it came out really good. So now all I'm doing, I just took the noodles out, and they're a little bent because I didn't cook them for that long. I didn't want to cook them too long because I didn't want them to get mushy because they're going to go in the oven. So right here, I'm adding in a little bit on the bottom of the pan. And as you see through the clip, there is one part that I lay the meat down and I forget to put the cheese on there. Really? So, but it all turns out at the end. Everything is really delicious. I actually took some to my mom. She liked it. So it was amazing. This is the second time I've made lasagna like this, homemade, in years. So hopefully the next one will be even better. So now I'm almost done, and now it's ready to go in the oven. What I'm telling you right here, you could stop here, wrap it up, saran wrap, foil, and put it in your freezer. But I decided to cook it for that night's dinner, and it came out really good. I really enjoyed it. So for the dessert that I have for you, it's called apple pie cream cheese. And what you're going to do, you're going to preheat the oven to 350. You're going to put the wontons into your muffin tin. First, you're going to spray your muffin tin. Then you're going to put your wontons in there. You're going to put your wontons in there for about 7 minutes in the oven. And then take them out. And then after that's done, you're going to glaze your apples. I cut them up already. So just for the sake of the video, because I didn't want to be cutting up apples on the video. You guys need to see me do that. And as you see here, I'm putting them all in there, and I'm going to put them in the oven. I did set it for 5 minutes, but I did additionally put them back in there. So you're going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter. Yes, you saw me light my oven with the candle thing. I don't know, on that side of the burner, it does not light. And this is a brand new stove. But anyways, so I just cut up the onions, oh my goodness, apples, put the cinnamon, brown sugar. I will try to leave the link down in the description box for this recipe, for all the recipes, I should say. And that's pretty much it. And then you take them out, you put a little bit of cream cheese, then you put the apple stuff on in the wontons and you put it back in the oven for about additional 8 minutes and they're ready to eat. And it is so good. We only have a few left. We tore those things up. But this is the end of the video and I thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all the things. It would mean so much to me. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye guys. Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today for you I have a dessert and I have a couple of dinner recipes for you. Right here I am making oatmeal cookies. They're actually called soft oatmeal cookies. They do not require for you to put raisins in there, but I've always put raisins in them and I've been making the same recipe for a few years now actually, and it is really good. And I will make sure to leave the link down in the description box so you guys can go make these soft oatmeal cookies because you guys are going to love it. Today I have for you, I'm going to be cooking creamy chicken stew. So this is all the ingredients. I already cut up the potatoes. I put them in water so they wouldn't turn brown. The onion, I always like to chop up my onions and then I just put them in the freezer. It's just easier. And then carrots, I have chicken breast. One thing of celery, that's what it calls for. It calls for cream of chicken, either frozen green beans or fresh, but I have canned. I've already drained them. It calls for Italian seasoning and what else? Salt and pepper, but I'm not going to add all that in there. So I am plus more. I'm going to add in onion powder, garlic powder, thyme, rosemary. I'm going to add my own. I hardly ever follow a recipe, and then it requires a cup of milk, a cup of sour cream, ranch seasoning. So we'll see how good this turns out. And I will take you along. Let me get everything together and I'll show you what it's going to look like in the crock pot. For tonight's dinner, I'm going to be making Sloppy Joe cornbread casserole. Right now, I have the ground beef and bell pepper. I want the bell pepper to soften, so I'm cooking it with the ground beef. And then I will show you the next steps once I get there. Okay, so my next step was to make the Jiffy cornbread, which I did. You make it just how the package says. And then you add about a cup of cheese into the mixture. I add a little bit more because, cheese is really good, so add more. And then I don't have a fixed 15-ounce can. I have these 2 little ones of tomato sauce. And I've already drained, I've already drained the ground beef. I put the onion and bell peppers in here. Now I'm going to put all the seasonings and the tomato sauce in here. Also, for the seasoning, I did not have Sloppy Joe. It requires a package of Sloppy Joe seasoning packet. So obviously I Googled it and I looked online and I made my own. So I have brown sugar, cornstarch, cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika in here. So I just made my own mixture in here. I can try to leave the link where I found this at, but I did a mixture of 2 little recipes that I found. So I'm going to go ahead and mix all this up, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, now I'm going to pour it in a dish, mix everything up. I went back and added a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of salt and pepper, and it tastes really good. I'm going to move this around, spread it out. Oh, and before you guys do anything, don't forget to spray your pan. I almost forgot to spray the pan. Now I'm going to take the cornbread mix and then I'm going to spread it on top. You want all the goodness out of there. You want to get all the goodness out, and then you just spread it on top. Spread it over the meat as much as you can, like this. And also I preheated my oven to 400 degrees. And I will make sure to leave this recipe down in the description box down below. And that's it. I'll let you see it once it's done. So this is what it looks like. Took it out of the oven. Let it cool down and wrap it up in some foil. And here's tonight's dinner.